What's going on? I'm doing all right myself. Can't lie. Hope y'all doing well too. It's a beautiful Sunday. It's the first Sunday of what's this month? August. I just want to kick some knowledge off to y'all. So today's topic is excuse me because I use my other phone to keep up with everything that I write down. It's going to be on separation and self-care, right? And I'm also experiencing this, taking time for myself, making sure that I am being the best that I can be, not only for myself, but for, those others out in the world, those people who I surround myself with. Um, the best way that I would explain separation, it does not necessarily mean cutting off people. It means creating boundaries and finding time to be alone so you can recharge. And oftentimes we get caught up in this fast paced life. This world is very very fast, because you got to take time for yourself regardless. It could be work, it could be school, it could be a relationship. You might be running your own business. Who knows what you got going on? And we lose ourselves, so we need to take time, separate, become one again. Also separation could lead to you finding out who you are, because I don't think we all know who we are off bat, but that's going to be another video. I get into that. And self-care to me is, taking the necessary time for yourself. Um things that can be reduced in stress, anxiety, and depression. If you're somebody who experiences those things, it could give your mind a break from constant stimulation and allows you to process your thoughts. Like, stressing all the time, we stress eat, we stress sleep, we stress work, we stress drive, we do all these things, but we don't look at where's this stress coming from. So we gotta sit back, become whole, and say, hey, you know, since I stopped doing X, Y, and Z, since I stopped hanging out with X, Y, and Z, my life has gotten a little bit better, or since I've stopped doing said things, I've been thinking more positively, I've been eating more healthier, I've been doing said things to reach said goal, you know, and we need to make sure we create boundaries and we stick to those boundaries, because if you don't stick to the boundaries, you will let any and every person treat you a certain way, and that's going to disrupt your self-care. It's going to disrupt your mental, your it might be your financial state, your physical state, your emotional state, and your spiritual state. I'm not saying because someone stole $25 from you, that's going to make you go against God, or whoever you believe in. But it could lead you down a dark road, and you start not really believing in yourself. So you gotta keep yourself whole. You gotta stay steadfast. Do not become stagnant when it comes to you. Because I promise you, everybody else out in the world, they thinking for themselves. That does not mean that they're selfish, because there's a lot of selfish and selfless people. Like, you might be on a basketball team and the point guard might be averaging more points than you, but let's say you're averaging more assists than him. You get what I'm saying? Like, you just got to look at it in different scenarios. Don't let one thing get you displaced. Do not let yourself become something that you're not. Stick to your own regard. Whatever boundaries you have, you need to make sure those boundaries are something that you can live up to, because self care, like I said, can lead to better sleep, getting to know yourself better, allowing yourself to reconnect with your emotions and understand what you truly need and want. It could be, sorry y'all, these bugs out here, man, but you need to sit back and shoot. I mean, I wrote this stuff down on my phone. If you you got to write it down on a piece of paper, if you got to type it up on your laptop or put it in your notes, do what you got to do, but keep those things to yourself, because I'm not gonna lie, this year has been a hard year, but I've been finding myself getting closer to God each time. I feel like it's getting harder, and it's like work. Some days I wake up and I'm tired of going to work, but I know the bills aren't going to pay themselves. I do have my own business, but my business has not made it to that satire or that stat to be able to pay itself. So it's like, I'm just like, all right, I got to do this in order to get to this. And I'm in school as well. So it's like, I got to go to work so I can, make sure I got the lights on. Because if I don't have the lights on, I can't do my, what I'm saying, I can't do my homework. Or if I ain't got no gas in my car, I can't go to class, or I can't go to work. So it's like all these things, they go into each other. Like if somebody bought something off my website, but let's say I don't have the money to make a shipping label, now I'm gonna just be going backwards. I'm going backwards, be going backwards. So it's like you got to think about each thing and each action that you do, because every action has a reaction. But when you separate yourself from the reaction, the action, and the thought, you start to see, like, okay, I should have thought about it this way. I shouldn't have did it that way. I was in a different headspace when I did this. We all make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up about it. But that's a part of self care and separation. Like going back and thinking, like, dang, 5 years ago, if I would have made this decision, I would be here. But let's say that decision landed you somewhere. Oh my, sorry, y'all. But that decision that you didn't make landed you 25 years ahead. You know what I mean? So it's like everything we do has has some reasoning behind it. There are mistakes, but there are logical mistakes, and then there are misunderstood mistakes. We just got to understand which one is which. Um, and this is how I feel like you could incorporate self care and separation into your life. Like I said, setting by setting boundaries, letting people know you need time alone and stick to it. Look, schedule me time, put it on your calendar. If you have appointments and whatnot, treat get that me time just like that. If every Wednesday, that's your day, you know what I'm saying. Let's say you off work, let's say you have nothing going on Wednesday, you just want to chill, you wake up at 10 instead of 6, and you just want to be around the house lounging. You might want to go to the gym at 2 o'clock, or who knows, you might game, or you might make music on the side, you might be a photographer, who knows what you do. But use that me time to do that. Just do something small. Don't got to be something big. It doesn't. Small things impact your life just like big things impact your life. But just think of it like that. Me time is just as important as going to work. I'm gonna keep bringing work into this. Um, like I said, find activities that help you relax and recharge, whether it's reading a book, taking a walk, practicing meditation, yoga, like I said, exercising. Shoot, if you like doing pottery, if you're into botanicals, doing things like that, if you like sitting out in nature, if you are a mechanic, do those things. Do those things, do what makes you happy. But this is something that you don't have to do to make money. This is something you just do in your spare time, where you sit your phone down and you say, you know what? I'm gonna just spend the next 8 hours as if I would go to work, and I'm gonna paint this picture, or I'm gonna paint a series of pictures, or I'm gonna make 5 beats, or I'm gonna call that company that I should have called, or I'm gonna ship out all these orders. Do something that makes you happy, but also you're relaxing. You don't feel like you're in a rush. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, this world is a very fast paced thing. It's everlasting. So you gotta find your way in let me see. The best way you could do it is slowing down. That's what you got to do. You got to slow down. I'm telling myself to slow down now. Um, like I said, even small changes like turning your phone off for an hour or taking a 10-minute break, to breathe deeply can make a major difference. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm really, really telling you. These things, like, they all play a role. Like, we got to take care of ourselves. It really starts with our mental, because the things you think, the things that you got funneling and channeling and going through these different frequencies in your head, they're going to be what you put out into the world. So it's like, if you're thinking negative, negative things are going to happen. That's all I can say. Like, if you're telling yourself you're going to be a millionaire, write it down. You get what I'm saying? Keep telling yourself that, keep telling yourself that, keep telling yourself that. But maybe you want to be a millionaire silently. Don't tell your friends. You know what I mean? Like, that's a boundary. Keeping your goals and keeping, now I consider your goals as assets. If you telling that to somebody, that's giving them the idea. You say you're gonna make $1 million, they probably wasn't even thinking about making $1 million. Or let's say they weren't even thinking about getting a new job. But now you got a new job. Now everybody in the world want to go get a new job. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny. Like, matter of fact, it's like if you go buy a Lamborghini, nah. If you go buy, mm, let's think of a car that's very. If you go buy a Toyota Camry, right? Before you bought it, you might have looked it up a couple times. But now that it's in your possession, you hold the title, you got the keys, you pay the insurance, you've had this for a little while. You like, huh? All these people got the same car as me. You start to notice things like that. But just take all these things in. I really hope that this video is helping, and I hope it helps anybody who sees this. I'm gonna give you guys one last piece of advice. Um, Separation and self-care are very crucial to our mental, physical, and emotional health. By setting boundaries, scheduling me time, and finding activities that help us recharge will help us separate in a different regard. And what I mean by that, it does not mean um we need to, if we know somebody's good for our life, but you're getting too much of them, give it a break. Give it a break. It could be your girlfriend, your husband. I mean, talk to them every day. Your friends, shoot people at your job, but separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you usually talk to them about the things you gonna work on, like, let's say take me for example. I've been telling myself that I'm going to look for a boxing gym. I don't want to box. I just want to be in boxing shape. I just feel like that's a physique that I would want to be in. Me saying that, I might tell the wrong ear and they go mouth off and tell somebody else. And now they're like, oh, well, he doing it. So I feel like we should do it. Now I'm seeing the same people at my job, at my gym. It's like when you leave work, you want to leave work. Like, if you get a phone call talking about you got to come in early, that's things like that bother you because why didn't you say that while I was at work? So it's like, separate things you say, separate things you do from people. Like, if your homeboy, your homegirl is not aware about your relationship, just talk to God about it. Whatever relationship, it could be the relationship with them, it could be a relationship with your parents, whatever it is. Remember the people who you first told these things to, and don't say it to anybody else. And you just got to trust that they'll keep those things to you. That's also another thing of self-care, because you might start hearing words and things get back to you, but don't let any of these things bother you. Like I said, separate, create boundaries, find time for yourself every single week, every single week. And I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I hope you guys like this video. Hope the knowledge helps you all out a lot. Could you please give me a comment, subscribe, and like the video? You guys have a blessed one. I'll see you in the next video.